Sup, this is Alex Shu coming at you with another episode. This episode, I want to talk to you about, women are going to Home Depot to look for husbands now. It's very surprising. But anyway, before I talk about that, I want to tell you my name is Alex Shu. I'm the guy who invented physical mortality rings. These are rings that you put on your small finger string sleeve. You wear them, you don't age anymore. You become physically immortal. For example, in 3 weeks, I will be 53-year-old. Okay? I still look okay, right? If you look at my belly, I'm pretty skinny. I don't have any belly fat, right? You can see I don't have any muscles on my belly. That means I never worked out. If you go to livemuchlonger.com, I have lots of testimonials on my website. There are lots of most of them are 4 stars and 5 stars from Amazon customer reviews. Okay, hey, you want to look like me when you're 53? Livemuchlonger.com, livemuchlonger.com. Yeah, I'm very surprised, man. See, recently I've been going to Home Depot to buy, parts and materials to fix my roof, right? Then I check online. I saw women are going to Home Depot to look for husbands. Man, they are desperate. Anyway, hey, I made a clip for you today. Check. Recently, I noticed that there's a trend going on in TikTok. A lot of single women are looking for husbands at Home Depot. How I found out is, I was patching up roof for my aunt. Roof was leaking water, and I was patching up her roof. And I went to Home Depot, right, to look for paints, right. And then I go online, typing Home Depot, and I found this trend in TikTok. Single women go to Home Depot looking for husbands, and I sort of understand why they want to look for a husband at Home Depot. Okay. Because tell you the truth, I think women's single biggest fear, okay, is not oh, I don't have any, if I don't marry a husband, if don't marry a man, I'm not going to get any sex. No. No sex is not what they worry about, No affection is not what they worry about. I think the biggest fear of a woman, okay, is, huge repair cost. For example, just like my aunt, right? The roof is leaking water, right? And all the roofers, they want they persuade my aunt to get a brand new roof. Your roof is too old, so you have to spend $25,000 to replace the roof, or expensive repair bills from your car. See, that's really a woman's biggest fear. Okay, is expensive repair cost from your house or from your car. That's the reason why a lot of women they don't want to be single. They don't want to die alone. Okay, it's not because I'm so horny I need sex every night. No. The biggest fear is if shit happens, like if your roof is leaking water, if your toilet is stuck, or your toilet, doesn't the fill valve is broken, who's gonna repair the toilet for me? Who's gonna repair patch up the roof for me? Who's gonna repair my car if I don't have a husband? That's really the biggest fear of normal women. Unless you're like a high value woman. Let's say you're some company executive. You're earning 6 figures salary, right? You're wealthy, then you don't care. You have money to waste. If your car breaks down, or some shit in your house broke down, all you have to do is hire a handyman or hire a mechanic, pay them lots of money, they fix it for you. But most women, right? I mean, if they have average salary, right? Somebody who's earning $35,000 to $50,000 average salary, right? Most women, like that. Most women like that, they don't want to live alone. Trust me, man. Especially if you have a child, If you have a child or two, you definitely don't want to live alone, because, you could be, every day you could live a very humble life. You could save up money. You don't go to restaurants. You don't eat out. You don't buy new clothes. But then, one day what's gonna get you is, if your car breaks down, right? You take your car to the shop, and mechanics would say things to scare you, you know? Say things to scare you, saying that, oh no, you know, you have to, oh, you're looking at thousands of dollars of repair costs. Right? Then, I mean, then what the fuck are you gonna do, right? You're a woman. You don't know cars. What you gonna do, you know? But if you have a husband beside you, that might be different. You know what I'm saying? Now, for example, my aunt's car broke down, right? I mean, it didn't break down. It's just that it's very hard to start. She doesn't dare to drive it anymore. So she brought the car to me. I take a look, right? And then, you know, so I just go ahead and replace her fuel filter. Fuel filter, you know? Went to the back seat. I pry out the back seat. I open up the fuel tank. And I took out the filter, put the new filter back in there. Car still is hard to start. And what I do, you know, I changed the ECT sensor, right? Engine coolant temperature sensor. I located it, you know, I screw it out using my ratchet and socket, right? Took it out, replaced a new one. And right now, the car's fine. Right now, the car starts, right? Starts like a charm. See, you know, women, they can't do stuff like that. They cannot, like, pull out a fuel filter from the fuel tank, right? They cannot, like, find where the ECT sensors are and replace it. They cannot do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And she brought the car to a mechanic, and mechanic told her that you're looking at, like, this is a big job. You're looking at $3,000. You know, it's scared the shit out of her, right? She doesn't want to pay $3,000. She has a daughter, right? I mean, she has to raise her daughter, right? She has other bills to pay, right? She doesn't want to pay $3,000 just for a car, right? So she brought it to me. Yeah, I fixed it for, you know, everything together. I fixed it for $120. Well, because she's my aunt, so I fixed it for free. I paid $100 some. It's parts, you know. I paid for it, you know. I didn't charge her any money. But things like that, you know. And also, her roof is leaking water, right? And then the roofer, she called a few roofers. They all tell her to replace a new roof. They all tell her that, oh, your roof is too old. It cannot be fixed. You have to replace it. To get a new roof, it costs around like $20 some thousand. And of course, she's very upset, right? So I climb up to her roof, right? And I patch it up for her. Right now, no more leaks. You know, you used to have like 3 or 4 different places leaking water. Now it's all patched up. No more leak, right? So that's the reason why I think that's the reason why a lot of women, they just like, they go to Home Depot, look for husbands, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, what could really calm them down is somebody who's handy, somebody who knows how to fix shit, you know. Yeah, a lot of women, they go to dating apps, right? But those dating apps, it's all, you know, that's where you meet these players, you know. Women go to dating apps, they look for handsome guys, they look for their Prince Charming, right? But the bad thing about the Prince Charmings is they're players. They just want one night stands, you know. They just want to pump and dump. Yeah, you could date some tall, handsome guy with a huge dick, right? He's gonna pay for the dinner. He's gonna drive you around. He's gonna take you to fun places and buy you gifts. But then at the end of the day, these Prince Charmings, you know, these Tyrone and Chad, they at the end of the day they're not gonna commit to you. You know, you think you're a player, but then these Chads that you're dating, they are players. You know, at the end of the day, they'll have sex with you. That's about it. But if shit happens to you, you know, you cannot call them. They're not going to do anything for you. You know. So that's the reason why, you know, these women are looking for guys at the Home Depot. You know, because you could imagine, yeah, this is. You know, I remember, you know, back in the days, you know, it's like, you know, every man knows how to fix a toilet, you know. I mean, I'm talking about the mechanism, the fill valve, right? Toilet fill valve. It's inside the toilet's tank, right? I think every man knows how to replace that shit, right? It's very simple. If that shit breaks, you just screw it, you just there's a plastic screw at the bottom of the tank. You just screw open that screw and then take out a fill valve and replace it, right? And then the flapper, just put it in there, right? Every man knows how to do that, right? But then, I kid you not, a lot of women, they don't know how to do, they don't know, they have no idea how to replace a fill valve, you know? So if that, you know, you can imagine if the fill valve breaks, you cannot flush your toilet, then what the fuck are you gonna do, right? They have to call a mechanic, you know? I mean, not a mechanic, they have to call a handyman. And nowadays, these handymans, they're wow, they're bad people, you know? A lot of these handymen, they're crooks, you know? They'll charge you a lot of money just to replace that shit, you know? I'll charge you hundreds of dollars just to replace the fill valve. Can you imagine that? You know, back in the days, I think repair these mechanics and handymen, they're nicer. I remember back in the days, so I was working for a motor repair shop. I was working at a motorcycle repair shop, right? And this German, I have a German boss, and he, every time like some girl, you know, bring their car or bring motorcycle into his shop, and the girl, it's all you have to do with the girl, all the girl has to do is dress up very sexy and act fun, you know, act fun to be with. You know, my boss would always try to find where the problem is, you know, the electrical problem, whatever problem, he finds it and he fixes it. And you know what, sometimes these girls, they don't even have money. They just sweet talk my boss, say, "Oh, you know, hey Emmy, thanks for fixing my car. Can I maybe, you know, do you a favor or something? I don't have money right now. Can I pay you back a little later?" You know, and they could always get away with it. You know, Emmy says, "Sure, no problem. You know, yeah, take the car. And you don't have to pay for it." And so back in the days, you know, these mechanics and handymen, they're nicer. You know. Like a lot of these pretty, as long as you're pretty, you know, you're sexy, you could always get away with it, you know. You don't have to pay them anything. Your car's broken, you take it to some guy, and he fix it for you for free, you know. Nowadays, no way. Nowadays, a lot of these handyman and mechanics, auto mechanics, they are now MGTOW, you know. They, you know, nowadays, men are not as nice as back in the days. They are not. They're not. Chivalry is sort of gone. Right now, chivalry disappeared, you know. So a lot of men, they are not as gentle. They are not as generous as guys back in the days, you know. So nowadays, if you're a woman, your car breaks, if your car breaks down, or you know, some stuff in your home needs to be repaired. You know, for example, your kitchen sink, right? If the kitchen sink is stuck, it's clogged, right? You have to snake it out. It's very difficult, you know. You got to hire a repairman, right? And they charge you a lot of money, man. You know, to snake out the clogged kitchen sink. Yeah, it could charge you like $1,000 nowadays, you know. And guys, they are not as nice as guys back in the days, you know. When you call a repairman, he's gonna come and he's gonna rip you off, man. I mean, I think that's the biggest fear of women nowadays. That's the reason why a lot of women, you know, they say, you know, fuck it, I gotta settle with some guy. You know, I'm old, I'm 35-year old, I need to settle down with some guy. You know, I can't live alone, cause they understand, you know. I mean, unless you're a successful woman, unless you're like very, very wealthy, you know, you got your own house, you know, you got a very, very good job, and everything's paid for, and then you don't have to worry about these repair bills, right? But can you imagine if you're just a normal woman with a normal job, right? Right, you're paying rent, you have a child to raise. Oh my God, can you imagine? You know, getting older, you know, to live your life without a man. Can you imagine that? You know, one day I guarantee you, I bet you, what's going to kill you is the repair cost, you know? Some shit break down and you have to spend lots of money to repair, and that's what's going to kill you at the end, you know? So that's why all these women, they go to Home Depot now. But anyway, that's all I want to say for this episode. Have a nice day.